Am I going crazy or is this real? Feels like I have some kind of weird mental power that I can tap into people's brains. I want this to stop. I don't want to. I want to be like in this world. I don't want to be all up in my head. She used to say that I might as well burn myself because I was going to hell anyway. That was the day I thought I was going to die. I would personally define it as just being different in some way. Your life is different. You're kind of afflicted with this. You don't choose it. You don't choose to have these voices talking to you, but there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to live with it as one of the things that makes you special. The first voices I had was Busted, actually. The group Busted. It seems to be just what's around me at the time when I hear a voice. So like if I'm into a TV show or if I'm into a certain band, I'll hear them. Charlie from Busted wanted me to smoke a cigarette. And I did. And I hated it, and I told him I hate it. I can usually just tell them no. They don't usually make me do anything. They can't really control me. My very first experience with my illness was in my psychiatrist's office. I was quite distressed. I remember drawing all over her walls, and I would say over and over that I was in the Truman Show and that people were watching me, and obviously this is not normal for someone to think, which was probably the reason why I was admitted into my first mental hospital. For some reason I thought someone was going to poison me and I would think that people were going to kill me. I had to just leave everything, leave my whole life and just try and get well. The first hospital I went in, and I was very paranoid, very agitated, very in with my voices. There was like nurses and they had to sedate me. So 3 of them jumped on me and just held me down. I could see the syringe that they were putting in my bum and I could feel it. And I was so scared because that was the day I thought I was going to die. When I was in the hospital, I used to think that there were cameras inside the smoke detectors. And one day I saw someone fixing the smoke detectors and I was sure that they were putting cameras and people were watching me, and I was very distressed. Every time you go into the hospital, you have to get checked for sharps. And every sharp that they find, they put in a sharps box. Like say you bought a razor, say you bought scissors or a knife or something like that, they have to put it away. But this girl was teaching all the people who self-harm how to get a razor blade and push it into your trainer so people couldn't see it. And then later on you could take the blade out and harm yourself. I confiscated them and I kept them in my bag. And when they searched my bag, they looked at them and they were like, "What is all this?" And I was like, "You know it's not me because you know that I don't self-harm. That's not part of my illness." And then I explained to them that I had confiscated it from the other girls because they were bringing them in. We broke out of the mental hospital. My friend Anna found out that there was a door that never got locked. And she's like, "You do realize they don't lock this door?" And I'm like, "Really?" Anna was just like, shall we go? And we absconded for a little while and we broke out, which was fun. They're quite nice to talk to, and it kind of makes you feel like you're not lonely sometimes to have voices. But as long as they're not bad, like when they start upsetting you or berating you, that's when it's the scariest. And that's when you think, I'm going to have a relapse. Relapse is when you're perfectly fine and then you get sick again. I just relapsed all the time and it was really bad. But I've been stable since I was 19 now, and I'm 29 now, so 10 years. It feels like your mind is racing, but then it's going really slow at the same time. When it's high, you're just really upbeat and happy and, hyper. Like you just want to dance about. And then there's the depression where you just can't stop crying. You just sit in your bed and you cry into your pillow and you tell yourself it's okay and it's good to cry because then you get it out, but then you can't stop crying. It was all brought on by stress, that I was putting undue stress on myself. And I also have a wild imagination. All creative people do have wild imaginations. I have my voice, I have my internal voice, and then I have all of these separate voices. They can like strike at any moment. It's kind of like you have psychic abilities and you can speak to people via your brain. It's not like it comes in, it's just like talking on a phone. Like, it'll just come in. I have a particular person, a girl called Emily, who doesn't like me at all and has issues with my religion. It's quite disturbing, but she used to say that because I was a Buddhist, that I was going to hell. She used to say that I might as well burn myself because I was going to hell anyway because I didn't believe in God. And that was quite scary, having someone tell you that you need to burn yourself. And that was one of the lowest moments. Anyone can come, so anyone I've met can come back. It's kind of like if I meet them, they get a doorway into my mind. Sometimes it's not just auditory, sometimes it's visual hallucinations. I'll be able to see their face. Sometimes they'll flash up pictures of themselves. So I can see people's face and I can see their expressions. That's how I know it's them, because I can distinguish their voice. I used to talk to myself, and that wasn't good at all. I learned to internalize it. So if I'm hearing voices and they're talking to me, I can reply to them without looking strange. I've heard a lot recently about the Brad and Angelina split. I hear Brad and Angelina and the kids as well. The kids are lovely. I think I remember showing one of them my Japan sketchbook because I went to Japan and I made a scrapbook of all of the things that we did. And there was a ninja museum. And one of Angelina Jolie's kids really liked ninjas. And they said, "Can I see your ninja folder?" It's kind of weird, but I interact with them. I talk to them as though they're just like a friend that's just dropped by. But sometimes it can feel very overwhelming to have a lot of people in your head at the same time. Imagine you're on Facebook and you've got the tabs of people talking to you. Imagine you can't minimize those tabs and all of them are running at the same time. And you're just like, oh my God, my brain is full of people. Can you leave me alone, please? And you have to start kicking people out. I've spoken to the president before, Obama sometimes. That was quite interesting. I was just talking about how he was so much better than Bush and how America loves him and we want him to stay. It's hard because there is a big stigma attached to being schizophrenic. The minute you say schizophrenia, people think paranoia and axe murderers and people, in the dark of the night. People can be ignorant, so you don't have to be what they want you to be. You can be yourself. You don't have to listen to them judging you. Like, they don't know you, like, they have no right. I don't feel alone. Think about all of the people who have heard voices in the past. It's not like I'm the only one in the whole of the world that's heard voices. I don't need you to tell me if I'm a weirdo or if I'm normal. I don't need your approval to be who I am. I can be whoever I want to be, and you be who you want to be, but be that away from me, please. I'm happy with where I am right now. My life is a crooked path, and beautiful and crooked as it is, that's how it is. My motto for life: choose happiness now. It's part of the idea to be in the now and to be experiencing right now and not be waiting for tomorrow or to dwell on the past. So if I'm upset, I'll just be like, I can choose how I feel and I choose right now, I'm gonna be happy no matter what.